It's really kind of strange because, like, she's old enough to be my sister, and yet she can boss me around and I have to do it. It's kind of nice, though, having a mother, you know. Same age, pretty much, because she understands. I suppose I'm as happy here as I would be anyplace else. I've never been anyplace else. Don't know. I mean, our house, we don't live in a little Santa Rosa suburban home or anything, you know. Well, inside the house, it's normal. Except for, like, my father, he isn't around very much because he's always real busy. My parents are busier than most parents, I think. And so we sort of have to take care of ourselves more.
I think it's easier raising a family with a moral code that is flexible. I think that that virtues should not be based on this standard, hackneyed, trite moral code that we've been forced to live by. I think that virtues should be things like, you know, kindness and courtesy and understanding, and do unto others as they do unto you. If you do unto others as you would have them do unto you, that's fine, but if they just keep doing unto you badly in return, then, you know, it's ridiculous to treat them with any kind of consideration. But I think that you just give children sort of the laws of the jungle to live by. But I think we're maybe more normal than normal people, because once we close the door to our house, it's our castle, and we do anything we want to inside, and we don't concern ourselves with what other people think. And we just get anything out of our system that might serve to, if it were repressed, be harmful to us.
The only discord that came was when he had the lion. About a year ago, well, no, about 3 or 4 years ago, he acquired a baby lion, and initially everyone thought, gee, how cute, or, you know, how different, because he was only about the size of a large cat initially. But then he got to be 3 years old, and about, I'm not sure, about 500 pounds of lion, and that's quite different than having a little kitty cat for a neighbor. And the lion, being a nocturnal animal, would sleep during the daytime, and then at night he would roar. And I mean, you'd get up in the middle of the night and you would think that you're near Mount Kilimanjaro or something.
I don't know. They say he makes too much noise. I never really hear him. Well, I heard him. He does make a little noise. I heard him one time when I was walking past, but I don't really think he's that noisy or something like that.
I'm hard of hearing, and the lion didn't bother me at all. But it bothered the neighbors to such an extent that they were positive it must bother me, and they were ringing me up to do something about it.
Here in San Francisco, there's a statute preventing ownership of horses, rabbits, I believe, and other domesticated animals that you usually find on the farm. However, naturally, our city fathers had not anticipated that anyone would keep a lion, so there was nothing on the books against keeping a lion, and Mr. Lavey was entirely within his rights.
But when he interfered with the entire neighborhood, it became our business. And that's when we had him arrested, and he got fined $50 and 3 months in jail, suspended, and a year's probation.
He lived with us for about 3 years, and he was always very rough, and of course we had to take a great deal of precautions with the children, because just playing he could kill one of them. So naturally we didn't let him in the room with the children, although he did sleep in our bedroom at night. But he was so sweet and so well trained that he used to wrap his mouth around Anton's leg and just sort of hold it for security. And if he started to bear down a little too hard, Anton would just say, "No bite, Togar," and Togar would release it.
I was in love with Togar. I never got tired of watching him. He had the most beautiful head, the most beautiful eyes. And one night I wanted to pet him, and I did pet him, but he wanted to play with me. So he grabbed my wrist. And my dogs do that quite often, and I didn't think about it until his fangs were going down into my wrist. And then I just stood there like I was petrified, and Diane said, "He's biting you, isn't he?" And I said, "Yes, he is." But I didn't know what to do. If I had known it, I would just have said, "No, no." You know, I knew that if I tried to take my hand back again, I probably wouldn't have had a hand left. So I can brag about being one of the few people who's been bitten by an lion, which I'm very proud of.
Oh, well, I can remember when he had the satanic wedding, the kids were sneaking up in the house and pulling open the curtains to see if there really was a nude girl on the altar. And when the police came to break the crowd up, the little kids ran up to him and said, "Hey, mister, there's a nude lady on the altar." And, of course, you know, the policeman thought, "Oh, yeah, sure, right." Walked into the house. Not only did they see the lion, but they saw the nude lady, and you've never seen so many men with such a shocked expression on their face in your life.
I heard something else, but I don't know too much.
What else?
No, really. But
no, please.
No, really.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. Just what else did you hear?
Well, I'll tell you if you turn out the camera first, and I'll say. Well, you remember when I told you that I met Mr. Weber? Well, Mr. Weber, and I'm like, I don't know too much about these things, but Mr. Weber told me that, I'm pretty sure it was Mr. Weber, that told me that when they had the lion, and I believe he's a male lion, that he took part in some of their sexual activities, and I didn't quite figure out how it worked or anything, but this is something that I did hear.
I don't know. Well, when the lion got loose over there, he did tear the house up, you know, and they said it was due to sex, that he was wanted to mate, and he went to the bedroom where his wife was, which his wife do have a scar on her left shoulder where the lion attacked her. I saw that in court myself, because she was sitting next to me. When she pulled her blouse down, you could see where the lion had struck her on his shoulder. So now he would train him up to that, you know. He's a baby. He had him from a club, so he could have actually trained him on that.
He was babysitting this jaguar for a friend, and he had the jaguar downstairs. And the lion evidently smelled the jaguar down below, became jealous and enraged, and went on a rampage, started tearing up all the pipes on the porch. And they couldn't call a plumber very well, because not very many plumbers are going to go in. So anyway, and then Mr. LeVay brought the lion inside, and he did quite a bit of damage, according to the papers, to Mr. LeVay's own personal effects. You know, drapes and a leather coat, I read in the paper, and a few other things. And still Mr. LeVay didn't donate the lion to the zoo, but then on the following day, he did some more damage. He did damage 2 days in a row, and then at this time, he did decide to donate the animal to the zoo. And at that time, he bit, I think, the man from the SPCA, and one of the policemen, too, was nipped, I think, too.
It was really very sad that we had to take him to the zoo. We didn't want to, naturally, and never would have unless we had really been forced to do it. We put a generalized curse on all those who helped to get rid of Togar, and they've either, a curse will do one of two things. It will either destroy or rehabilitate, and that's exactly what's happened.